works without being super fucked up.
It was looking pretty good a second ago.
Oh, like the internet connection might not be that great.
Yeah. Where'd the image go?
Oh my god, that bitrate is so low. Try going to the, can you get into the settings? I don't know where to turn it on Apple programs. Test, test, test. Oh, they can hear me speaking too, I think so. Don't say anything crazy. Is there like a settings for OBS? File, maybe?
Preferences.
Yeah, try preferences. Go to stream. Nope, go to output. Yeah, try for video bitrate. Can we try 1000? And pray, and then click OK.
Warning, recording's gonna have a positive recording voice.
That's okay. And then hopefully this doesn't turn red a bunch. Oh, nice. Okay.
Drop frames. Okay.
Well,
I'm just worried about this. I don't know why this is blurred right now. It should be streaming.
My guess is going to be because the phone is like on the lock screen.
Yeah, that's my guess too. Okay. I'm gonna go check.
I will not rest until the country stops launching American people and gets around. I will not stay short. The President of the United States said, I have a file on my desk. Nothing like making my president is her. She said she is our leader and she's the reason. So one, two, I think it's going to go. I think even if the entire administration is looking, soon as putting the release of very good.
Socialists are fascists!
I don't know, can you guys hear me on stream? I'm looking at DGD chat.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm switching you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Here comes the Tell us how many dicks you sucked, Destiny!
Alright,
How many miles of walk have you walked through, Destiny?
Not half as many as you, sir.
Oh, your mic's not on, faggot! Hey!
Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2.
check, make sure I turn this on. Yep, you're on.
Cool. Good, good. Are we starting? We go? Don't worry, you're good.
Let someone speak through fire! Why the fuck is
What do you think the main convention is? Especially serious issues. And we're talking about still pushing it. You know, the legislation that's happening. I'm trying to understand what's going on.
Yeah, so the
What do you think is the main point of contention?
I mean, my argument would be that the Conservative Party has intentionally tried very hard to divorce us from any kind of like fact-based conversation. This guy, what's it different? So this guy likes to about him. Your dog is terrified. Why not at least leave your dog at home? Jesus. I think that the Conservative Party has done like an explicit effort to remove us from reality, fact-based conversations as much as possible. And I think that as a result of that, when you try to have an actual conversation about how to fix a thing, or when you try to figure out how to actually, like address an issue, you are unable to do so because nobody has a common understanding of what the actual facts are of the thing, I want to know how much do you think about me sexually? Let's go ahead. You want to talk? Give this guy a microphone. Give this guy a mic. Take a mic. Take a mic. Grab a mic. Grab a mic. Grab a mic. Come on and chat. Roll on over here. Come on, dude. Grab a mic. No, you don't want to say anything? You no. You don't run shit, bro. You can't run your own fucking diet. Fuck out of here. What are you talking about?
You stopped everything for me, you fucking loser.
I'm here to make fun of retards like you. I'm here just for you. You are the show. You are my show. I'm farming you right now. You're gonna be on my YouTube channel tonight. What? I'm not even married. What are you talking about? How often do you think about me sexually? Yeah, why are you talking to the audience? I'm right here, bro. Why would she leave? If I'm sucking dick with my wife, why would she leave me because of sucking dick? How often do you think about other guys sucking dick? How often do you think about other guys sucking dick? Be honest. Yeah, there you go. All right. Okay, sorry. All right, back to you. What's up?
What are your ideals?
About what? Sorry, like I'm sorry. Just more specifically, what do you mean?
Your ideals for this country, what are they?
I mean, it's a really broad question. I mean, I believe, like broadly speaking, in the founding of this country is a liberal democracy. I think that it has to have some capacity for people that have certain disagreements to be able to coexist under the same framework. I think that we have to have a government that allows for an expression of what people believe in, and make room for like disagreement. Like it's very broad, but I mean, it's a broad question. Yeah.
Okay, then. Right or left?
In terms of my political views,
Yes.
I'm left-leaning for sure.
Okay. How far are you willing to go for the side?
How far? What do you mean by how far am I willing to go for that side?
When it comes to political views and what you stand on, including what you want to believe in and what you speak on, how far are you willing to go to prove your point?
Fairly far, I think.
Okay, then. What about the blood on your hands?
What, I don't think I've killed anybody recently, so hopefully I don't have any blood on my hands.
Okay, not your hands. I'm talking about the left in general. I'm not even just the left. I'm talking about the right, too.
Okay.
In a country that was built off of blood, and I mean speaking from the point of view of Native Americans in general, this is their land. Not only was this country built on blood, it was built on bloody hands, it was built on bloody pistols, it was built on bloody guns, and now the man is dead because he tried to speak on something he believed in. And now people are dying left and right just to prove a point that their side is right. That some of them just don't care. They're doing this just so. But I'm just going to be careful with this question. Do you believe that they're murderers? But
I didn't say now. That would require us further along, but I think one point now very like further down that road. Yeah, but the system is supposed to be able to for disagreement without there being direct confrontational violence between people, like killing or murdering each other. Yeah.
all right. So okay. Are you religious by any chance?
Better than you suck dick.
I'm sorry. Anyways,
You're good.
are you a religious man by any chance?
No, I'm very atheist.
Okay. Personally, I do believe you reap what you sow, unless you repent to God and in Jesus Christ your Lord and Savior.
Yes, he will reap what he sowed.
But
Dicks. Piles of dicks.
from what I'm seeing, on left and right, if people keep dying like this entire country is split apart. It's already split as it is. There's America. Do you believe that view?
I mean, we're still a single country. I mean, like I think. I mean, the only reason I'm here is because I think we can do better. If I didn't, then yeah, we are. But so I mean, like at some point there has to be a decision made on both ends to kind of work together towards a common goal. I would argue, we can go for examples. I would argue that the left has tried to do that. Joe Biden said multiple times he wanted to be a president for all Americans. He tried at several points to bring the temperature down on the violent rhetoric in this country. There was a reason why his presidency was considered so much more boring in terms of his social media presence than Donald Trump's. And I think that Obama did the exact same thing, where he was trying to, bring America together as much as possible. He did it with when Henry Gates, the police officer, had the confrontation. Mr. Gates was arrested outside of his home. Obama invited them to the house to have a beard, have a chat. The Republican side just seems to be like reinvested in constantly, invoking more and more violence and refusing to take responsibility for any of the rhetoric that they have. And I think that that's pushing us constantly more towards one direction. Yeah, civility has to be by both sides. It can't just be one side to make it.
Well, I do agree with that last part. I'm gonna say that I kind of agree with pushing us in one direction.
It's not on.
From what I can tell, it's pushing us in a different direction entirely. Obama was an exception. He actually did something for America. We got Biden. When we got Biden, he barely did jack squat. We got Donald Trump, who also, well, he did some things, but they're very controversial. And honestly, some of them are kind of
You said Biden did jack squat.
mostly.
I mean, I guess one of the disappointments, I guess, for me is that when people say things like that, I feel like
Choppy.
the messaging needs to be better because Americans just seem to not care much about like policy or legislation. Like we can say Biden did jack.
The audio is literally better in my stream right now.
Okay, let's hear it. Are they saying anything?
They're saying that the audio is
Well, no, hold on. I just changed something. So can you just hang out here for a second, or just what? Yeah.
They're capturing from his phone, right?
It's from my phone.
Wait, what the fuck? They're hearing me. How the fuck are they hearing me? They're hearing from the computer. Tell me something. I'll walk away and see if they can still hear.
Seeking revenge to calm down. And all Donald Trump can do is blame the radical left and blame Joe Biden and blame Obama. I don't think he's ever said, my Biden included, everybody needs to bring the violence down. It seems like Donald Trump is unable or incapable of saying it. But I feel like he had no business saying that. There's a big difference there. And no?
I just added it back in.
You know, like that, I can't actually agree with you there. What I feel like for both sides and how they kind of contradict each other is that how I feel from what I've seen, the left is very loud and it does have some logic in the argument, but they're very extreme to the point that it can be deadly. And the right, just blind faith, and sometimes they don't even have to research them.
Sure, but I feel like for the left, when things get violent. Like I think there is a reckoning or some attempt that the left has to take relating to the. So, for instance, when Biden and Kamala were running in the 2020 election, they had to disavow the BLM violence. They had to say riots aren't acceptable. We can't do this. It's not a good way to conduct ourselves as Americans. Whereas on the right, like I mean, you heard it said up here earlier, like they don't even acknowledge that January 6th was them. They pretend it was a Fed search. They refuse to acknowledge when conservatives are doing violence. When Melissa Hortman and her husband were murdered in Minnesota, the Minnesota lawmakers, when the Buffalo shooter, when it did his shooting, it was like a 180-page manifesto on the Great Replacement. This guy on a live stream kills 10 black people, looks at a white guy and says, "Oh, sorry, not you," and goes to the next person. And conservatives are totally and utterly silent on all of this because they never recognize when their side does violence. I think that when there's one side that feels like they have no accountability and constantly like up the ante, and then the left is constantly having to play this game of we disavow, we're sorry, like this shouldn't happen. I think it leads the right into thinking legitimately that there's no violence at all coming from their side. And it's gotten so bad that even now, the DOJ just removed, I think, from their website, the study that pointed out that like 76% of all of the violence that was politically inspired over the past couple of decades came from the right. Like, I feel like that's a one-sided issue right now. The conservatives refusing to tell their side to calm it down.
I see. I got one more question, man.
Yeah, sure.
Can I pray for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Take it serious.
There is humanity and there is you. For you, the God of our fathers. Okay? The Father.
Thank you, sir. Hi. To that one? Okay.
Are they giving them?
Whatever you want to do. That's.
How's it going?
How you going? Okay.
My name's Levi. I'm a freshman. I was just wondering, I saw a video of you in Israel laughing with IDF soldiers about how they shouldn't video like certain crimes that they do. And I just want to ask you, how can you justify what Israel is doing while being on the left, seeing the atrocities and the genocide that they're committing?
Yes, I think there's two different questions baked in there. So one is the idea that some will be encouraging this is that was think like when I was Israel, I'm talking to a audience fans. There were a lot of idea. At the time, the big media stuff was there were people that were like putting on dresses in people's houses, and I drug it. Like, you guys would stop video recording yourself doing stupid shit. I don't like they shouldn't do it either. But people try to misconstrue this as like, if you guys are genociding people, like, don't video record it. I've never made a statement like that. I think that'd be a ridiculous statement to make. Insofar as like justifying what Israel's doing now, I think that Israel has like a just cause for war against Hamas. I think that their behavior in war seems to be increasingly like harder to defend. I think that I think that the issue is that after Trump was elected, Bibi basically has no more leash holding him back on anything. I think that Israel is a country who has a foreign policy that's constrained by their kind of domestic relationship, with their own people, and then sometimes with their international relationships with other countries. I think that if Netanyahu could, I think he would push every Palestinian out of the Gaza Strip. Yeah, but I think before, I think it was possible, but now it might be. I wouldn't support them doing that. It's bad. I think there's a lot of people that have died there now. I don't understand why they have to go in now to get rid of Hamas. I don't know what they've been doing for the last year and a half. It's not like I, uncritically support every action that Israel does. It feels like a lot of the rhetoric from the left is that they didn't even have a right to go to war after the October 7th attacks, which I thought was ridiculous.
I just have a hard time being able to say like how big impact is and how they on both sides of the politics and they vote on those things. But then bombs like Yemen, Iran, it's like, how can we say that they are our allies when they are making enemies all over the Middle East and then making enemies for ourselves?
Yeah! I mean, without getting into like a deeper conversation of Middle Eastern politics, technically I don't know if they're making more enemies for us or if they're just fighting enemies that I think that us and the kind of like the Israel-Saudi axis everybody kind of agrees are enemies. I mean, the issue that you run into is that the current president has no vision for the Middle East. Like, he doesn't understand really anything of anything. But like,
we could agree that he's a shill.
That Trump is a shill?
He's like, I think the youth on either side, we are waking up to the fact that we are being purposely divided. Yeah! I'm tired of speaking this two-party term. I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. But when is it going to be enough to wake up and realize that we are on the wrong side of history?
The wrong side of history insofar as what?
As so far as against genocide, against the continuation of the war crimes that are happening. 112 countries in the UN recognize Palestine as a state, and yet nothing is happening to change what is happening.
Sure. I mean, there should be a solution, for the problems that exist between these two people, right? Between the Palestinians and these Israelis. I think the issue is right now the U.S. has no leadership to present that vision. Israel has no desire to present that vision. I don't think the Palestinians have a desire right now to present that vision. Everybody's just kind of stuck in this like death perpetual solution. I think it's probably some anti-Semitism people that are involved in it. I feel like the big issue is it's very hard for people to just have like a clear and concise criticism of the I don't even know, like stuff related to AIPAC or stuff related to foreign support of Israel. It seems like it has to become unhinged if possible. So you might have people like Anna and Jenkins on that have criticism of Israel. Now they're talking about how, well, maybe Israel was behind, or at least they knew about 9/11 and the dancing Israelis and all that.
That is true.
I don't think there's any good evidence for that.
wouldn't it be the people that are on the fringe that have the solution rather than the people that are continuing in this broken system?
No, I think if anything, Donald Trump has shown us the people on the fringe absolutely do not have any good solutions for our problems right now.
He's backed by some of the richest donors in the world.
Yeah, but the donors, apparently that doesn't matter anymore. Like if the rich people mattered, you wouldn't see people like Zuckerberg and Bezos capitulating to every demand that Trump makes. You would see, these rich people fighting back against him. But you just saw Kimmel get kicked off because ABC gave it to Trump. You see NBC, you see everybody give in on these lawsuits. It doesn't seem like the rich people are fighting against Trump much. They kind of get bullied and have to go along with him.
Yeah, good job!
Thanks.
Hello, hi. Sorry.
You're good. Can you speak? Make sure you speak into the microphone. Sorry, yeah, there you go. You asked what can Democrats do to push legislation related to like gun violence or police brutality?
Yeah.
For some things, I think it's important to recognize that some of these things can never be solved by Congress because they're like local election issues. So, for instance, like if you're looking to have police issues solved, a lot of this comes from your like police commissioner who might be appointed by your mayor, and Congress can never really touch that issue very deeply. Number one. Number two, I think that we have to have like realistic conversations about what it is we even want like these things to do, because it feels like we speak in truisms sometimes. So, for instance, I heard a lot of like defund the police stuff. But when we talk about like defund the police, people were also talking about how we needed to have additional for social service rolling with more funding. I think we need to have like a more critical conversation. What do we actually want to do? I think the thing is, and I'm right now, we have like a Republican Party that has largely abdicated its role in government. Like the president of the United States feels like he can rule via executive fiat, and not even just executive fiat, just through the office of the presidency. That he doesn't, his cabinet is there to serve at his pleasure and follow his orders. And Congress is not necessary. He doesn't need it for anything. That's why he's been for power. And as long as we have like a Congress that feels like, or a Republican Congress that feels like they don't have to participate in the process, it's very hard to get anybody like on board with any meaningful legislation. Yeah.
I plan on running 5 years old. And, I want to do that in America where I have a fair chance. And do you think it is possible for a woman to be president?
Is it possible for a woman to be president? Hillary, what, 4 million votes? I mean, the popular vote at least, yeah. I like Hillary would have won. I'm just trying to where we're at right now. I don't know in terms of. Sorry, this guy's tickle his balls out here. Big one over there. I mean, like, I wouldn't say it's impossible. It just there's like it's so hard to predict or say what's going on or what's possible. But yeah, I mean, like Hillary won the popular vote. I don't think it was impossible for Kamala to win. I think that there just need to be different decisions made. Yeah, I say that.
And to get my start, where do you think how to be on that path? How do you think I should start?
So I think there's a tremendous amount of power available on the local level for people who are interested in doing it. If you go to city council meetings, there might be one or two citizens where delaying stuff from happening because they show up at every single meeting. They talk, every single person on the city council. There are a lot of offices that have staff that will have people that will shift to get a job. You can work in any of these places. You can work at the state legislature level, even in state offices and stuff. I think if you're looking for it and you're willing to start outside of like a federal office, I feel like there's a lot of power there, especially at the city level. And it's probably worth just like reaching out to your local party and having a conversation about that. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. And actually, it's going to do this. You're trying to pull out me. I'm sorry. What? John?
All right. Miles of destiny, miles of
46. I just hit it. Cool. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, you said you were a survivor of.
I'm an Korean.
Oh, what? Say that again.
Korean.
Oh, okay, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and I'm very, I'm very big advocate for.
Money to like pharmaceutical companies and maybe like health insurance providers for medical staff. I don't know. So, yeah, you're in front of it right now.
Question. Yeah, well, uh, using like cancel culture, with people celebrating or kind of lauding Charlie Kirk's death, and like what happened with a woman getting arrested for kind of celebrating that. And then I had another question, which was,
Yeah, so on the first one, I think that one of the big issues that we deal with right now in our political system is when we talk about the left, we're talking about like not to be disparaging, but usually we're talking about like college, right? And in college, right? Basics. I used to according to the I think you should be pretty radical. Like if you're not right, there's a time where you've left your house, you're separating yourself from your parents' point of view, you're like learning about a whole bunch of political ideology. And when the right wants to criticize the left, what they do is they run to college campuses and they're like, look how crazy the left is or whatever. It's like, but this isn't our leaders, these aren't our lawmakers. If you're on the left and you are radical, you don't hate anything more than the fact that, there's like no representation for your point of view in Congress, basically, right? Except for, the four justice Dems, maybe AOC, maybe Ilhan Omar, maybe Rashid Tlaib, maybe. But then when we talk about like the right, we're talking about the president of the United States, the vice president of the United States, all of their fucking lawmakers, all of their large alternative media figures, all of their mainstream media figures, and so that the equivalence there is our political opinions without killing each other for it. And I that is terrible. The issue to it, the left is the thing that white, and supposedly the last month he was radicalized by a roommate who's fully cooperative. In Seattle, when like LGBT decorations all over, would care about his last 6 months ago. This guy was radical.
Also, wasn't there a bunch of cars maybe a week before the shooting that license plates that pulled up to his house? Wasn't there one about that?
I haven't heard that one yet, but I'm just saying we don't know the ideology of the shooter yet. Hopefully, I guess we say at some point. But what?
I couldn't put you
the problem with the Bowling agreements is that all of them are video game references too, though.
Well, I didn't think Texas fascist. I thought it's more or something.
Well, I mean, like they were all like. Right. Now, the election, everything.
If Tyler Robinson was left leaning and assassinated someone on the right, how that could contribute to political.
Yeah, it could, but also like there's been a lot of right-leaning violence as well, but no one even knows about it because we don't talk about it because the right doesn't talk about it and they don't even acknowledge it, or they just pretend that it didn't happen, or the guy was left-leaning, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, my other question then is basically, what is
like the two shows have done like both super lionizing one side and demonizing the other, yeah, I think that it'll probably continue to get worse.
Be like Biden did, you fucking liar.
Yeah, Biden did do it.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I have no idea. Sure, how? I guess. What? No. Yeah.
Brandon!
Hi, my name's Brandon. I'm a sophomore here studying microbiology. First, thanks for doing this. I think appreciate this is important. My question is, in recent years, since Trump took office, we've seen large slashes in funding for medical research. For example, the CDC by 2050 there will be 1.9 million deaths due to. How do we get important research that has to do with healthcare, bacteria, that kind of stuff, while also taking care of our national economy?
This is going to be boring because I'm going to repeat this a lot, but we have to bring the conservative side like back to reality. I remember having a lot of debates related to COVID and the vaccine back in like 2020, and I remember saying to you say you don't like the mRNA shots, but really it was all the COVID shots, and that's going to expand to all shots, and eventually it's probably going to expand to everything related to medicine, and that's where we're at now, right? We got, Brainworm Kennedy is telling us that we need to eat less like red fry or something, and that's going to make America healthier. And then we're cutting.
Is not grounded. I don't support that whatsoever.
Sure, yeah. So I mean, like, if you have half this country right now that doesn't even want to get measles vaccine for kids anymore, how are we gonna have a conversation about funding advanced cancer research? Like, the sad thing too is that we've made a lot of advancements in a lot of different medical areas. We just never talk about it. Like survival now, like if you have HIV, your life span is basically the same as an ordinary person because the antiretrovirals for that are so good. If you're a diabetic, like the different types of treatments that are available now, these continuous glucose monitors inject you automatically over time, dramatically increase outcomes. Type 1 diabetes, cancer survival rates, I think just came over 50%. Child leukemia for children, the 5-year survival rate on that is over 95% now. We had a lot of cool advancements, but we can't take credit for any type of anything anymore because on the right, all of it is conspiratorial. And then I feel like on the left, we kind of hate everything related to healthcare, so it's hard to talk positively or speak positively about any of it. We have to ground our conversations back in reality. Again, it's hard to encourage somebody to fund, medical research when they think that Israel is pumping us full of vaccines to turn out to save their country or something. You just can't have a real conversation about climate.
Thank you for your time.
Cool, thanks.
Good to meet you. Phil, goodness. Good to meet you, Destiny.
Hi.
My name's Gabe. I'm a mechanical engineering student here. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you unequivocally disavow the assassination of Charlie Kirk right now today?
What I unequivocally, if this is the same, I've done this over and over again. I think that the president of the United States needs to lead on this. And my question is, why are people on the right so obsessed with talking to people on the left and getting them to disavow over and over again when the president of the United States wants to disavow? If I saw 1/1,000,000th of the pressure on the president and Republican leadership to disavow as they do on the left, this country would be infinitely better off for it. So my statement is, I think that everybody on the left, I think they've shown it over and over again, and I've said it over and over again, there should be no political violence in this country. Nobody should be killing anybody over their political beliefs, but we need the right to lead on this. And if they can't do it, then we're lost.
Why does the right need to lead if it was an assassination against our year?
So throwing at a liberal president, he's ask questions when it came to FEMA aid. Biden didn't ask questions when it came to the shooter on Trump. He always everybody needs to lower the temperature. Everybody needs to treat everybody, like a fellow American. We can have disagreements. We can have debate. We shouldn't be killing anybody. Donald Trump cannot make these statements. And it is insane to me how much hand-wringing the right wants to do when Donald Trump just won't do it. Do you have an opinion on that? Or how does it make you feel when Donald Trump won't just come out and say, all of us need to be less violent?
Well, I think everyone needs to turn down the rhetoric a little bit.
No, but I'm asking, why doesn't Donald Trump say that? Why can't Donald Trump come out and say that?
Well, I don't know. I'm not Donald Trump. I don't speak for him. I'm not.
Sure, but you probably did you vote for him or?
Yeah, I did vote for him.
Okay. You would still vote for him?
Yeah, I would still vote for him.
Okay, so why does it not bother you that the president of the United States won't say we need to all be less violent? It's the easiest litmus test. This is the easiest GED litmus test for being a decent human being that could ever exist. Why can't he do that?
Why is it important?
Because the signal sent to the Republican side right now is that I like you committing crimes. I encourage you to commit crimes, and when you do it, we will forgive you for them.
Well, it's interesting because the entire kind of rhetoric of the right-wing side has not been rioting or looting or any sort of violence in response to Charlie.
How many times this guy said civil war and we can't work with these people anymore?
Even standing right around us, right here. So all of the right-wing talk that's been around here today has been come to the vigil, pray for people, Christ is King, and even right here, F ICE,
Fuck ICE,
F Trump, it's all over the place. It's all over the place. I pray for my enemies. I pray for everyone.
So I can understand that, and I can understand your perspective there, but in my mind at this point, talk is cheap. I'll hear people say that the left encourages things like riots and violence. How many people did Biden pardon related to the BLM protests? Well, pardon none of them.